What's up guys, it's Tanzan, and today I'm here with a deck profile for probably one of my favorite decks that I've played in a while. I've taken it into locals a couple times and it's done pretty well. Yeah, it's probably my favorite deck of this like aggro format that we've had. So with that being rotated out thanks to the list that came out on Friday, I wanted to give it one last hurrah before the new stuff came out. So I took it to locals last night. A few people were playing aggro, quote unquote, one last time. So this is probably one of the strongest decks that I have into aggro, and it definitely put up a really good fight. I ended up placing top 4, and then my first locals that I took this to, I won with it as well, if I remember correctly. So it's a very good deck. It has a lot of links. I wanted to talk about it because the new Exia coming out and the new Throne Eins, the new Curios, all of the new CB stuff is coming out in GD05. I think this deck is going to be a lot better. You can already tell I am not running O Gundam. So the thing with O Gundam is it's nice to have in the matchup with aggro to try and like keep pace with them. But I think when you hit this off of your Hallelujah like top deck, it kind of feels bad sometimes. Like, yeah, you can play it. If you were going to play this more aggro, I think you can throw it in, but I don't think you need to. Let's jump right into it, and then I'll kind of talk about my thoughts for when GD05 comes out, what I think it's going to look like. So first we have 4 of the Exia. When there are 2 more units in play on your opponent's board, you ping something level 2 or lower for 2. So into aggro matchups, this is good. Into any blocker matchup that's playing striker pack, this will get rid of the 4/2. It's nice because it's a sets in a link. So even if at the end of the game you're digging for that last link to swing in, you hit this and it's okay, you can play it, put Setsuna and swing for game. I've seen a lot of people talk how they wouldn't waste a Setsuna on this. I have absolutely wasted a Setsuna on this card to clear something. Whether it's a base or a problem unit, especially at the end of the game, you put Setsuna on it and it's swinging for 5. So I think it's a little underrated in terms of linking. Next up, I'm going to talk about Virtue. This card's very good. So I was testing with my friend Grant. He was testing the new G-Quux from EBO1 that deals 2 damage to a blocker. I didn't have a CB pilot on board, so he couldn't ping it because it did not have the blocker keyword. So keep that in mind when you're playing into something like that, or if you're playing for whatever reason into like Big Zam or whatnot. If you don't have a pilot on board, this is not a blocker. Next up, I'm running 4 of the generic Exia. It links with Setsuna. It turns into a 7 swinger, which is really nice on attack. So it can take out any base or any large problem units. Plus the 4/3 stat line is really nice. It's basically your Rizel. You're playing it a turn later, but you get the link. And then obviously the best boy in the deck is the Curios. This is such a good card. First strike inherently, so even like a 1 swing first strike is, if something has 1, you can still take it out. But the best part about it is obviously when it's linked. You can put a Setsuna on it to make it a 3 first strike. Which will deal with, kind of the early blockers like the Rick and the bursted strike pack token. But obviously with Hallelujah, this card is your best card in the deck. Looking at the top and then adding it to hand, almost every card in this deck is CB. Next, I have the Gundam X from the starter deck. So at the end of your turn, if you have 7 more CB cards in your trash, you can unrest a resource, which is very good for our commands that we're playing. And then on pair, you can place the top 2 of your deck into the trash and then draw. So this helps you with getting stuff in trash for Trans Am, as well as drawing more cards to keep tempo. Next card, I am running 4 of the GN Armor Type E. This is a generic link as well as a blocker. So this came in handy most games. I mean, you see it and you're really happy because you have a blocker. You see it at the end of the game and you don't need the blocker, but you need the link, you have it. Very good card. It links with every pilot in our deck. So I think it is a fantastic card. I do see some lists running it at 3. I could see that. I could see cutting this to 3, but seeing it at 4, it's like from here back, I want to see all of this stuff as much as possible. Like I want to see this in the aggro matchup. I want to see this in the slower matchups. I want to see these two because these are my level 4 plays. This not taking a turn, your whole turn, to link and swing it is wonderful. If you're going second, you don't have to blow the EX. So all of these are cards that I want to see 100% of the time every time. Next, I want to talk about Throne Eins. This is a really good card into your aggro matchups. If you can stall to level 6 and you play this rest 2, you're going to nuke their board for the most part. I'm running it at 2 because I don't want to get bricked on it, and I don't need to see it in every single matchup. And if I don't see it, most of the time I can win without it. Same thing with our next card is the Curious Trans Am. Curious Trans Am is really good because it's a Hallelujah link, so you have 6 first strikers in the deck. The issue is if you didn't see Hallelujah all game, this is a dead card. In terms of its effect, it's just a basic 5/4 at that point. So I originally wasn't running it, but I did want to have more Hallelujah links. So I ended up putting it back in. Post GD05, I might cut it. I'm not sure yet though. And then finally, I'm running 2 Exia Trans Am. In a perfect world, I have this at 3. I only own 2. I haven't ordered the other 2 yet. I would probably cut this out completely and then bump these 2 up to 3 because my locals was a more aggro heavy locals. So I would rather see this than this. Exia Trans Am is 100% your game winner. It has suppression. You play it, you link it, and if you have 10 CB cards in trash, you're popping something with the lowest HP. I never got that off, but in my final game, I had both of these on board because we stalled out that long. Absolutely won me the game. For commands, I am running 3 close combat, self-explanatory, in action, deal 2 damage. Works really nice with the restanding of the resource. If you have 1 and your turn, restand to 2, now you have a live close combat on your opponent's turn. And then same thing with the Overwhelming Pressure. Overwhelming Pressure is a wonderful card. In my round 2 matchup, I ended up, they had a Grandpa with Armor arrested. I ended up swinging an Exia into it, and then Overwhelming Pressure in action to get rid of Grandpa. So this is a really good card. Sometimes we struggle into blocker decks, which is what these are really good for. Shout out to Grant because he told me to put these in and it changed the deck completely. So now we don't struggle with aggro and we don't struggle with blockers as much. On to pilots, I am running 4 Setsuna. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Setsuna links with 18 cards in our deck. So if we see him, we probably have a link in hand for him. And then every time, generically, it's not like a when linked or when paired effect. Whatever card he's on, when it attacks, the unit attacking gets +1 AP. And if you have 7 or more CB cards in your trash, your whole board gets +1 AP. So if you have 2 of these on board, it's the more you have on board, the more it stacks. Great pilot. I think it's a really good card. Probably the main reason I'm playing purple instead of green. Next pilot is Hallelujah. He doesn't link with a lot of stuff in our deck. But when I see Hallelujah and Curios in my opening hand, it is probably one of the best feelings that I have in this game. I think that this card is the main reason that CB has potential in the game. Being able to look at the top card of your deck. However, round 1 and 2, my first top deck look was close combat, both times. So I did whiff 2 times, but in my round 3, he could not get rid of my Curios because I had these and these on board to protect it every time he went to swing into it. So I kept getting value off of it, and because I kept resting blockers, it kept getting bigger. At one point, he went to swing into it, but it had 11 AP, so he did not want to trade into it with his larger units. And then my final pilot is Nina Trinity. I decided to do 2. 1, because I only have 2, and 2, I only have the 1 link for her, or I guess technically 6 because the armor type links with anything. But the thing with Nina is I like to put her on strictly the blockers because that +3 is really nice. I have seen some lists with her at 4, so you're running 12 pilots total. I would feel like I'm getting pilot flooded. I like to stick around 10. And that's just a personal preference. I felt that this ratio for pilots worked out really well for me. There was a point where I played the armor type and then the Nina and swung it because it's a link. It having 7 HP is just crazy. Like, this blocker is huge. The support didn't really come into play that much. I actually don't think I've ever used the support, but I haven't felt like I needed to sometimes. I could see giving support to like the smaller things or like the Curios if you don't have the link, so you can support it and then give it 3 or make it a 3. And then for bases, because my locals is a little more aggro heavy, I am running 3 of the purple base, and then I am running 1 Minerva. The CB base is very nice in aggro because level 3 and under can't take it. I think it takes a little bit of thought, but I don't think it is the hardest deck to play out there. Post GD05, with aggro being a little less dominant, I might keep this in for tokens and the link, but I think I would cut the level 4 2-cost Exia for the new Exia repair coming out. And then I think I would cut maybe these 4 for the new Curios coming out that can swing the turn that it's played. Obviously, I need to test a little more. I do have a list that's been going pretty well. I was testing it before the list dropped, so the way it's built is to play into aggro. So it's not going to stay that way. I am definitely going to have to test out a little more. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I just wanted to throw this out there for people who want to try red purple, and you might not be able to get your hands on GD05 because I know it's going to be one of those sets. I think this is a very good deck. I think it's really consistent, and I think it's extremely fun. It can play into a lot of matchups and do very well.